life and in the hereafter. May Allah Ta'ala strengthen the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. May Allah Ta'ala forgive the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. May Allah Ta'ala protect the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. May Allah Ta'ala give victory to the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And may Allah Ta'ala protect us from ourselves, the torment of the grave and the punishment of the fire. أقول هذا واستغفر الله وعليكم الحمد لله رب العالمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما صليت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد كما باركت على سيدنا إبراهيم وعلى آل سيدنا إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. Dear beloved Muslims, Ikhwan, my respected elders, brothers and sisters, I'm going to conclude on this note. And I was asked, and I don't need this. I was asked, and before, because I'm going to let the brother know right now that I'm going to go just a little bit farther than he asked me to, but we want you after the salat to please hold your space before you make your sunnahs. We have some very important announcements for this masjid, so please, just don't rush out. You know, I know you got to get back to your master, but Allah Ta'ala is going to hold you. You know, I've been here now over a year, and I've said from this minbar on several different occasions that, you know, this goes back to what we said earlier, you know, being a stranger among somebody is no longer good enough. You know, being a Muslim brother to you is no longer good enough. You know, because some of us still have what we call, and when I say this, those of you that know what I'm speaking about will understand. Some of us still have a Jesus complex. And the Jesus complex, we are not talking about the Prophet Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. We are talking about that picture of that white man that's on the wall that some of our family members got, or they try to say that is a representation of the Prophet Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. So unless we live in a society where people are still fighting for their humanity in their lives, so you hear slogans like Black Lives Matter and this matters and that matters, right? So again, I ask where the Muslims are at. So amongst the Muslims want to know, yo, Habib, where you from? Brothers, move up. Brothers are actually move up. Where you from? Where you study at? Where you get your hijaz at? Did you go to Al-Azhar? Did you go to Medina? And I was reading. Now, I'm a reader, but you know, that's another thing they say. If you want to keep truth from people, put it in a book. So now we go to Sheikh Google. And whatever Sheikh Google bring up, that's what we believe. But anyway, when I went to school, when I graduated from Islamic school, there was no computers. Everything was in books, everything was in notes. Now, I don't know about some of you, but I was born here in America as a Muslim. My father was Muslim, and I have lived outside of this country just as long as I've lived in this country. And if those of you that have a passport, an American passport, you know that everywhere we go, we get visas. I'm on my 4th passport. 4th. So that means I've done a lot of travel. But still, that ain't good enough. Habib, that ain't good enough. You see, because the Ghurba, the stranger amongst the Prophet's time, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if they had a problem, if Khalid bin Walid had a problem with Ummah, he went to Ummah and said, Ummah, I don't agree with you. He went to him and said, look, man, where you coming from? Where is this in connection with the sunnah of the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam? So, but that ain't good enough. We can't do that. So we practice, instead of practicing haqq, we practice Raqeeb. We practice backbiting. So as long as I've been here, and as long as I've been a brother to you all, and as long as I have invited people in my house, I still got brothers asking me if I'm Shia or not. Now, I don't mean no offense to my brothers that are Shia, because there's a couple of them in here right now, and I won't even point them out. But I was told that if I was Shia, that they ain't praying behind me. A'udhu billah. I don't know where you get that from. But okay, let's deal with that, because that's shame on you. Because if you allow one man to stop you from praying to your Lord at the time of Salat, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Now, let me say this. I have given nobody no indication. And those of the brothers that's in here that practice Jafari fiqh will tell you straight up and down, nah, the Imam not Shia. He's just well versed. But again, being a stranger ain't good enough. Being your brother ain't good enough. But being weak to your brother is good enough, because you ain't even give your brother the benefit of the doubt. And I thought the Prophet ﷺ said that a Muslim's character is safe with another Muslim. Again, I guess the stranger part ain't good enough. So I'm going to put this to rest one last time. I have studied Jafari fiqh, Jafar as-Sadiq. And you know the only reason why people would claim for you to be something is because they don't know nothing about it. Because if you knew anything about Shias, you wouldn't even say that the Imam is Shia. But you know what it is? It's because I talk about the Ahlul Bayt. I talk about the family of the Prophet ﷺ. We should all be talking about the Prophet's family ﷺ. But look, how many times did I mention the Prophet ﷺ, and I ain't hear none of y'all send salawats on the Prophet. But you want to ask me whether or not I'm Shia. So I'm asking you, where the Muslims at? You worrying about me and what my minhaj is. Where are you when it's time to give dawah? Where are you when it's time to feed the homeless? Where are you when it's time to look after the old people in the masjid? Where are you when it's time to clean the bathrooms? Where are you when it's time for classes? When I teach a class here, I got more sisters up in this bait than I got brothers. But you want to question me? Come to my class. I answer all your questions. I ain't like Trump. I ain't got nothing to hide. None at all. I'm a Muslim on the millah of Ibrahim alayhi salatu salam, on the sunnah of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. That's who Raqeeb is. Now, if you want to know anything else about me, just be brother enough and come ask me. That's all. That's it. Because I'm going to come to you. And if I got a problem with you, I'm going to ask you. And I'm going to ask you with a smile. And how many brothers have said, you have been here, I don't smile at you when I shake your hand. But you can hug me, you can give me salams, and then go back. Yeah, man, I don't know what about with that brother, man. I think that brother and his wife, man, they want something else. And not only do they don't leave it to you, they add your wife and your family in it. But look, I'll tell you this. There you go. They back there on the table. If anybody in here got a problem with me and you don't want me to be your imam, the key's back there. Let them men know. I'm here because I was asked to come here. And I'm here because I love the Gurba. I love the strangers. And I want to be among the strangers on the day of Qiyamah. And I pray Allah Ta'ala will forgive us all our shortcomings and our sins. And I pray Allah Ta'ala will forgive all of us our shortcomings and our sins, the ones that we committed right before we came to Jumuaa, the ones that's hidden in our hearts. MashaAllah. May Allah forgive me. If I've said anything to offend anybody, and truly I'm not mad. I'm really not. But it is a shame in 2018, when Muslims are dying all over this world, that's your issue with me. And when people are being hurt out in the street, I don't see no Muslims on the news protesting. But the Prophet ﷺ said you're supposed to stand up for justice. It's not, this just say justice for Muslims, it said justice for humanity. So again, I leave you with the question, where are the Muslims? May Allah Ta'ala forgive us. May Allah Ta'ala have mercy on us. May Allah Ta'ala save us from ourselves and from the hellfire. And brothers and sisters, I remind you again, Brother Mir, I'm sorry I went over a little bit, but I'm asking you all to hold your seats after we make salat, so we can have some announcements, inshallah ta'ala. May Allah Ta'ala accept our prayers and save us from the fire. Let's come into salat.
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله خير الصلاة خير الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Brothers, please tighten your ranks. Don't let the shaitan between you. Sisters, make sure that you're covered properly. May Allah Ta'ala accept our prayers and forgive us all. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Brothers, please hold your seats just for a few minutes, please.
All right, I'm going to speak loud enough so that inshallah I don't need to speak rebellion. But there's a couple of things that we want to, first and foremost, we want to do is we want to keep the unity of the masjid, of this community. You're going to find that the direction that we're moving is to build community. And it's very important that each and every one of you brothers, as the Imam was speaking today, that we have to stay together. So it's very important. You come, you make salat here. I shouldn't have to tell, nor the board, nor should this community have to pay you to spend in Allah's cause. Spend fi sabilillah. That's between you and Allah. It has nothing else to do with anybody else. But what I did wanted to say is today, I want to introduce the board. There's been changes, and alhamdulillah that you brothers would embrace the change. This transparency, meaning that nobody is above anybody. If you have a question, ask the question. The difference is you got a bunch of brothers that are actively working that are going to come to you and ask you to actively work fi sabilillah. And this is on you. It's between you and your Lord. So I wanted to, first and foremost, I want to introduce the new board. And as I call your name, I want you to come on up. You probably don't know because we've been trying to get it together. But I've been asked to be the Emir after Brother Abdullah had stepped down. Alhamdulillah, that you guys would accept that and you would understand that I'll work diligently in trying to bring this community together and bring a little more stability. Not that Brother Abdullah did not do the best that he could, but we got to keep moving. We got to keep it moving. So what I wanted to do was to introduce the board. But as I do that, I want you to be responsible enough as this community to go to each and every one of these brothers. If you need something done, if you got a problem, if you got an issue, and as well as with the Imam, go to the brothers. We are now collectively going to come to a point where we can fix all the problems. But I want you to understand it's community building. That's what we're doing. We're building this community. Go to the people that you know that used to be here, have them come back. The more and more that we swell, the better that Allah will be pleased with us. So who I want to bring up, and I want to be perfectly clear with the community, we have Brother Amin Huddleston. He's a vice president. Now, shortly, in the next couple weeks, 3 weeks, his whole understanding, and he's one of the old ones here. In the next couple of weeks, after we get the projects done, which is the bathrooms that he's in charge of, everybody knows that when it comes to maintenance, Brother Amin, you go to him. Come Monday, we're going to get the parking lot started on. Everything that we're doing, we're cleaning house. We're making sure that we are ready for the month of Ramadan. So I'm not going to ask you for money. What you need to do is you need to give it freely. All right? So Brother Amin, he's did service here for almost 25 years, and he's the vice president.